This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. The Virgin Islands Department of Labor wants employees affected by recent Lime Tree Bay layoffs to know the department is there to help them. This week, those impacted by the recent layoffs are invited to attend a rapid response information session. They're set for this Wednesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Lime Tree Bay facility. The Department of Labor has services available to assist both businesses and individuals under the Rapid Response Program. They offer services to help dislocated workers transition to new employment as quickly as possible. Employees can receive information about career services, filing for unemployment insurance, employment opportunities, training, and financial assistance. In St. Croix, VIPD have two separate homicide cases they're working. We're learning the identity of the woman found dead on the side of the road last month. On June 1st, the body of a woman was found on the roadside in Estate St. John. The autopsy revealed she had been beaten to death. She's been identified as 59-year-old Nancy Naves of Estate St. John. Her death ruled a homicide. The major crime unit's working her case. And back on July 4th, the decomposed body of a man was discovered inside an apartment in Estate Peters Rest. He had been shot multiple times. That victim is identified by police as 48-year-old Michael Scott of Estate Peters Rest. The case also being investigated as a homicide by the Major Crimes Unit. If you have any information on either case, you are asked to call VIPD. On St. Thomas, you may have noticed a big ship docked at the West Indian Company dock. Tuesday is the last full day it'll be here. The U.S. training ship Kennedy arrived on Sunday with 272 maritime cadets and 72 crew members and instructors. They're all taking part in a training cruise with the Texas Maritime Academy. All aboard the ship will not be disembarking while in the territory. WICO says all COVID-19 precautions have been taken for the ship and its crew members. Carnival Cruise Lines is getting ready to get back on the waterways. Speaking of ships, on Monday, the company announced 3 more of its ships will return to operation in September. The ships will sail from New Orleans, Galveston, and Baltimore. 4 more ships will begin service in October, with the full fleet back in commission by the end of the year. The company says vaccinated trips will continue through October, which means unvaccinated guests will have to go through pre-cruise testing. Carnival adds COVID-19 safety measures may be extended based on guidance from health and medical advisors. We want to get you the latest now on the coronavirus. As the Delta variant of COVID-19 continues its spread, countries around the world are feeling its effects. Wall Street stocks tumbled more than 800 points, and markets around the world suffered too as the rapidly spreading variant stoked fears of another shutdown. In the U.S., cases have more than doubled in the last 2 weeks, and some areas like Los Angeles County are reinstating mask mandates. Top health officials are concerned too. President Trump's Surgeon General urged Americans to wear masks even if they're vaccinated, though the Biden administration hasn't urged such a move. While we're seeing a bit of a spike right now, case totals are still low here in the VI, but experts say to take note of what's happening around the world. Our USVI News contributor and epidemiologist, Dr. Becky Dawson, says in some instances you might be wise to wear a mask even if you're vaccinated.
If you're walking into an indoor environment and you don't know people's vaccination status, so I'm thinking grocery shopping, indoor, concert, the public library, those sorts of things, those are the places that I'm continuing to mask.
And again, those mask mandates remain in effect here in the Virgin Islands. Meantime, early data suggests the Delta variant is more transmissible amongst young people. More than 4 million children have been infected with the COVID-19 in the U.S. since the start of the pandemic. That's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. And with the highly infectious Delta variant spreading across the country, doctors worry about that number continuing to climb. Our USVI News' Hunter Vaughn reports.
Dr. Fatma Levent specializes in pediatric infectious diseases in Orlando, where COVID-19 cases are on the rise.
Now what we're seeing is younger children, younger adults are getting the infection and bringing it to their families.
As the powerful Delta variant sweeps through the country, Dr. Levent says it's affecting children more than previous strains, and more of them are ending up in the hospital.
When they get it, it's usually mild. However, they can get hospitalized, they can get pneumonia and other complications.
In June, Katya Tejada's daughter Caitlin was one of those children.
I was scared. I was panicking because she said that she had a headache, she had her body, it was some pain.
The 15-year-old is unvaccinated and spent 3 days in the hospital when the infection led to pneumonia.
It was a bit scary for me. My throat hurt a lot.
In Florida, about 90% of seniors have been vaccinated, but among children, the number is lagging far behind. Only about 30% of kids between 12 and 17 have had their shots, slightly below the national average. Mississippi's rate is just 12%, the lowest in the nation.
In this phase of the pandemic, there's really two life choices. It's to vaccinate or you're going to get COVID.
As a mother of 3 teenagers, Dr. Levent is taking no chances.
I really want to protect my children, and I can proudly say that all my 3 children are fully vaccinated.
Caitlin thinks she was infected at a party where people were unmasked. She's on the mend now, and the family plans to be much more cautious in the future. Hunter Vaughn, USVI News.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says severe COVID is still rare among children, but more research is needed on the possible long-term effects of the virus. Meantime, Cuba is struggling to battle the pandemic, now reporting the highest per capita COVID-19 caseload in the Americas. The Caribbean nation kept coronavirus infections low last year, but the recent spread of the virus is straining its healthcare system. The increase in cases helped stoke rare protests that have shaken up the communist-run island. To counter the anti-government protests, authorities organized pro-government rallies across the island on Saturday, which were attended by thousands. But many Cubans have aimed their anger at the own government's handling of both the pandemic and the rough economy there. Many people have to wait in line to buy food. Medicines are also in short supply, as we've been reporting. The latest outbreak of the virus in Cuba is fueled by the arrival of the more contagious Delta variant, first identified in India. Cuba reported nearly 4,000 confirmed cases per million residents over the last week, 9 times more than the world average and more than any other country in the Americas.